So previously, we have solved some numerical examples on op-amp circuits, right? We have seen the circuits examples or applications of voltage follower, inverting amplifier, summing amplifier, and all that, right? So today we will continue with that. We have seen examples of op-amp as voltage follower, inverting and non-inverting amplifier, and even summing amplifier, inverting summing amplifier, where we are asked to find the output voltage. So here there is another example. You are asked to design and add a circuit using op-amp to obtain an output voltage of V0 is equal to minus of 2V1 plus 3V2 plus 5V3. So this is the desired output voltage. You are asked to assume RF is equal to 10 kilo ohms. So it is given, you are asked to design an adder circuit using op-amp. So this is the output voltage. What you can see in the output voltage, there is negative sign. That means it is an inverting summing amplifier, right? And there is minus of 2V1 plus 3V2 plus 5V3. So these are all the gains of individual input voltages. So what you can do is, you have the equation for output voltage of 3-input inverting summing amplifier. Just compare that equation with this given output voltage, and with that you can find the required resistances. So design an adder circuit means what? You need to find the values of different components that you're going to use, right? So in an adder circuit, what are the components? You have some resistances, R1, R2, R3, and RF, right? So you need to find them. You need to find the values of them. And how you can do that is by comparing the given expression with the expression for output voltage. So it is given that V0 is minus of 2V1 plus 3V2 plus 5V3. So we know the output of a 3-input inverting summing amplifier. It's given by V0, that is equal to minus RF by R1 into V1 plus RF by R2 into V2 plus RF by R3 into V3. Is it right? We have seen this multiple times. Now just compare this equation with this. If you compare this with this, now RF by R1 is equal to 2, RF by R2 is equal to 3, RF by R3 is equal to 5, right? So comparing, you get RF by R1 is 2, RF by R2 is 3, RF by R3 is 5. What is given? You are asked to assume RF is equal to 10 kilo ohms. You are asked to assume RF is equal to 10 kilo ohms. So, if you put RF is equal to 10 kilo ohms, you can get the values of R1, R2, R3. So just rearranging this, you can write R1 is equal to RF by 2, R2 is equal to RF by 3, R3 is equal to RF by 5. Is it right? So here, if you take RF is equal to 10K, R1 is equal to RF by 2, that is 10K by 2. That's how much? 5K. And R2 is 10K by 3. That's how much? 3.33. And R3 is 10K by 5. That's how much? 2K. Right? So this is how you get the values of resistors R1, R2, R3. Now, when you have these resistances R1, R2, R3, and RF, you can draw the circuit of a 3-input inverting summing amplifier, right? So what is that circuit? After you get the values of all the components, draw the circuit and put the values in the circuit diagram. That completes the design. This is V1, V2, V3. Here R1, R2, R3. Put the values. RF, it is given in the question that you have to take it as 10 kilo ohms, and this is V0. This is the way, if you draw the circuit diagram, it will complete the design. Now, in this question, it was given that you had to take RF is equal to 10 kilo ohms, right? Assume RF is equal to 10 kilo ohms. But sometimes you will be just given with the equation of output voltage. You will not be given what is the value of RF. In that case, you can choose any value of RF and you will get corresponding values of R1, R2, R3. Okay. So that way also, sometimes question can be asked. We will take one example that way. So here, you are asked to design an op-amp circuit that will produce an output equal to minus of 4V1 plus V2 plus 0.1 V3. How to design this circuit? So here it is not given, it is an adder. Whether it is an adder, inverting summing amplifier, nothing like that. Nothing is mentioned in the question. Just by looking at the expression of output voltage, you should be able to decide that this is an 3-input inverting summing amplifier, right? It's a 3-input inverting summing amplifier because there is a negative sign and there is sum of V1, V2, V3. There are 3 inputs inverting summing amplifier. right? So it is, let us take this as V0. Okay, given V0 is minus of 4V1 plus V2 plus 0.1 V3. Then the required circuit is a 3-input inverting summing amplifier whose V0 is minus of RF by R1 into V1 plus RF by R2 into V2 plus RF by R3 into V3. This is the expression for output voltage of 3-input inverting summing amplifier. Now compare it with the given expression. RF by R1 is 4, RF by R2 is 1, right? RF by R3 is 0.1. RF by R1 is 4, RF by R2 is 1, RF by R3 is 0.1. Now what is R1, R2, R3? Just rearranging, you'll get R1 is RF by 4, R2 is RF by 1 or RF itself, and R3 is RF by 0.1. Right? Now here RF is not given. You can take any value of RF. You can choose your own value of RF, and depending on that, you will get corresponding values for R1, R2, R3. Right? So any value of RF, if you take, it is correct. If you get the correct values for R1, R2, R3 based on the value of RF that you choose. Right? So here I have chosen RF is 100 kilo ohms. Let us take RF is equal to 100 kilo ohms. So if RF is 100 kilo ohms, substitute that 100 kilo ohms in R1, R2, R3 equations, you will get those values. Then R1 will be 100K by 4, that's 25K. R2 will be 100K by 1 or 100K itself. And R3 will be 100K by 0.1. If you calculate, what do you get? 1000K or 1 mega, right? 1000K or 1 mega ohms. So these are the values of R1, R2, R3 that you get for the value of RF is equal to 100 kilo ohms. So once you get these values, you can draw the circuit diagram and put the values in the circuit. That will complete the design. So here you have to remember these values you obtain for the value of RF as 100 kilo ohms. You are free to choose any value for RF. Based on that, you will get corresponding value of R1, R2, R3. So that will also be correct. Whatever value you choose for RF, if you get different values for R1, R2, R3 for that particular value of RF, that is also correct answer. Right? So here there is no one correct answer. You are free to choose any value of RF, and based on that, you will get different values for R1, R2, R3. Right? So whatever values you get, you put them in the circuit, and that will complete the design. Is it clear? Any doubts in this part? Okay, fine. Shall I proceed? Right. So here, there is another example. Find the output of the following op-amp circuit. So this circuit is given. You can see there are 3 op-amps, 1, 2, and 3 op-amps, right? So this is first stage, second stage, and third stage. You can take this as, stage A, stage B, something like that, right? So now you have to tell me what the first op-amp is. What is its function? I want answer from you guys. First stage is what? Whether it is a inverting amplifier or non-inverting amplifier or voltage follower or adding circuit, or what is it? Non-inverting amplifier. Yes, good. Damis. So because here the input is connected to the non-inverting input terminal, and inverting input terminal is grounded through a resistance, and feedback is to the inverting input terminal, right? Input is given to non-inverting input terminal. That's why the first stage is a non-inverting amplifier. What is the second stage? There are no resistances used. Input is connected here, output is connected back to the inverting input terminal. What is the second stage? Yes, it is voltage follower. You're right. And what is the third stage? You can see at the inverting input terminal, there are 3 inputs. And from output, you are connected back through a feedback resistance to inverting input terminal. What is the third stage? Can anyone else answer? Yes, it is inverting adder. 3 input inverting summing amplifier. Right? So we will solve this stage by stage. The first stage is a non-inverting amplifier where R1 is equal to 1K, RF is equal to 10K, R1 is 1K, RF is 10K, and input voltage is 0.25 volts. Right? So we know the output of a non-inverting amplifier is 1 plus RF by R1 into Vin. We will take that particular value as VA. Okay. At this particular point, we will consider it is VA, here VB, and here it is Vout. So VA is 1 plus RF by R1 into Vin. Substitute RF by R1. I mean, RF is 10K, R1 is 1K, into Vin is 0.25. 10K by 1K is 10. 1 plus 10 is 11. 11 into 0.25 is how much? 11 into 0.25 is 2.75. Is it right? 11 into 0.25, you get 2.75. That is the output after the first stage, that is after non-inverting amplifier. Now what is the second stage? As we have seen, second stage is a voltage follower. For a voltage follower, output is the same as the input, right? Output is the same as the input. We will take that output as VB, that is equal to input, that is VA. So output is 2.75 itself, right? Now the third stage is a 3-input inverting summing amplifier, where the first input P1 you can take as VB, the output from the previous stage, and this is V2, that is 2 volts, V3 is 1 volt, R1 is 15K, R2 is 10K, R3 is 15K, sorry, R3 is 5K, and RF is 15K, right? So it's a 3-input inverting summing amplifier, and from the circuit diagram you can note down all the parameters. R1 is 15K, R2 is 10K, R3 is 5K, V1 is VB, that is output of the previous stage, that is 2.75 as we have seen, V2 is 2 and V3 is 1 as in the diagram, RF is 15K. Just substitute these in the equation for the output of a 3-input inverting summing amplifier, that is V out is minus of RF by R1 into V1 plus RF by R2 into V2 plus RF by R3 into V3. What do you get there? RF is 15K, R1 is 15K, R2 is 10K, R3 is 5K. Just substitute and calculate. 15 by 15 is 1 into 2.75 plus 15 by 10 is 3 by 2 into 2 plus 15 by 5 is 3 into 1. So what do you get then? 2.75 plus 3 plus 3 minus 8.75, right? Yes, right, Anas. Minus 8.75 volts. That's the output voltage after all the 3 stages, right? So whenever more than one stages are given, just like we have seen the previous example also, I mean in the last class, we have to take it step by step or stage by stage and give the output for the final stage. Let us take another example. Here we are asked to find the output of the op-amp circuit shown in the figure, and the circuit is like this. Are you familiar with this circuit? Have you come across this circuit anywhere? What it might be? Where we have used capacitors, we have used them so far in case of integrator and differentiator. Yes, Damis, integrator and differentiator, we have used them. But in that case, there would be one resistance somewhere, right? In case of integrator, R1 was a resistance and there was CF as capacitor. In case of differentiator, there was C1 and RF was the feedback resistor. But here, there are 2 inputs at the inverting input terminal. There are 2 inputs, V1 and V2, right? They are given through a capacitance C, and at the feedback also there is a capacitor. So this is actually a 2-input inverting summing amplifier. Instead of resistances, we have capacitances, right? Instead of resistance, we have capacitance. It is a 2-input inverting summing amplifier. So we will see how it works. We will just derive the expression for output voltage in this case. So what we have is a inverting summing amplifier with 2 inputs using capacitors. Instead of resistors, we have capacitors here. So whenever there is a capacitor, what is the current through the capacitor? If the current through capacitance here, it will be capacitance C here will be I1, here it will be I2, and here let it be IF. What will be I1? We have seen while discussing circuits with the capacitor, the current through a capacitance is the value of the capacitance multiplied by rate of change of voltage across that capacitance, right? So what should be the current through this particular capacitance? What is I1? So I1 should be C multiplied by rate of change of voltage across this. What is the rate of change of voltage across this? At this particular point, what is the voltage? V1. At this particular point, what is the voltage? See, we have to use the same principle of virtual ground. Since this terminal is grounded, here also there is a ground, right? If you take this as potential node B, the potential at node B is 0. So the potential at node A is also 0. So here there will be potential 0. So the potential across this capacitance C will be V1 minus 0, that is V1, right? So the current I1 will be C into dV1 divided by dt. Similarly, the current through this capacitance, if I take as I2, it will be C into dV2 divided by dt. And similarly, the current through this particular capacitance, that is IF, will be C into what is the voltage difference across this. Here there is 0, here it is V0, right? So it is 0 minus V0, it will be minus V0. So it is minus dV0 divided by dt, right? I1 is C into dV1 divided by dt, I2 is C into dV2 divided by dt, and IF is minus of C into dV0 divided by dt, right? Now, from another assumption that no current can enter op amp, no current can enter op amp, so all the currents entering this node will have to leave as IF, that is I1 plus I2 will be equal to IF, right? I1 plus I2 will be equal to IF. So substitute the equations for I1, I2 and IF. IF is minus C into dV0 by dt, I1 is C into dV1 by dt, I2 is C into dV2 by dt. So if I substitute and C is common, it gets cancelled. So what is dV0 by dt? It will be minus of dV1 by dt plus dV2 by dt, right? Now if I integrate both sides with respect to t, what do we get? Integration of dV0 by dt with respect to t minus integration of this with respect to t plus integration of dV2 divided by dt with respect to t. Integration and differentiation, they get cancelled. What remains is V0 here will be equal to minus of V1 plus V2. So it's nothing but an adder, right? It's a 2-input inverting summing amplifier, but instead of resistances, we just had capacitances here. So since all the 3 capacitances are equal, they are given as C, they get cancelled in the final expression. If the values of capacitance were different, if it was C1, C2, C3, then they would remain in the final expression, right? They would remain in the final expression as C1, C2, C3, or C1, C2, and CF, something like that. But since all the 3 capacitors are same here, they have got cancelled, and V0 we have obtained as minus of V1 plus V2, right? So what we have seen is we can also have the circuit for inverting summing amplifier by using capacitance instead of resistance. If you replace that by capacitors, it will still work as inverting summing amplifier, right? So this question was once asked in the exam, so I have included that here. Let us take another example. Here, you are asked to find the output of the following op amp circuit. The circuit is given here. By looking at the circuit, can you tell me what circuit it is? There are 2 inputs given to both the input terminals through some resistances, and here there is another resistance. Isn't it a subtractor circuit? It's a subtractor circuit, right? It's a subtractor. This is V1, V2, right? Output of a subtractor is RF by R2 into V2 minus RF by R1 into V1, right? So given circuit is a subtractor where R1 and R2 are equal in this case, that is 1K, RF is 2K, V1 is 2 volts, V2 is minus 2 volts, right? So the output of a subtractor is RF by R2 into V2 minus RF by R1 into V1. Substitute them. If you substitute 2K by 1K, RF is 2K, R2 is 1K, into V2 is minus 2, minus 2K by 1K into 2. What do you get? 2K by 1K is 2. 2 into minus 2 is minus 4. Minus 2 into 2 is 4. Minus 4 minus 4. Right? Minus 4 minus 4. That will be minus 8. Is it right? So this way you can calculate the output of a subtractor when you know the values of R1, R2, V1 and V2. And also RF, obviously. Is that clear? So the main thing is you have to identify what circuit it is. By looking at the circuit diagram, you should be able to identify what circuit it is. For that, you should know all the circuits. Take next example. This is of an integrator. It is given a sinusoidal signal with the peak value of 6 millivolts and 2 kilohertz frequency is applied to the input of an ideal op-amp integrator with RF is equal to 100 kilo ohms and C1 is equal to 1 microfarads. You are asked to find the output voltage. So you have been given with the peak value of input. Remember, this is peak value of input, that is 6 millivolts, and frequency is given as 2 kilohertz. Then resistances and capacitance are given. RF and C1 is given, right? RF and C1 is given. So this has to be R1. In case of integrator, you have what? R1 and CF, right? R1 is 100 kilo ohms and CF is 1 microfarads. You are asked to find the output voltage. So how to get that? First, write the given things. R1 is given as 100 kilo ohms, that is 100 into 10 raised to 3 ohms. CF is 1 microfarads, that is 1 into 10 raised to minus 6 microfarads. This is peak value of input, so you can take it as Vm, peak value, that is 6 millivolts, that is 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 millivolts. F is 2 kilohertz, that is 2 into 10 raised to 3, that is kilo, right? 10 raised to 3 hertz. From the given things, first you have to write the expression for input voltage. We have only peak value of input voltage, right? It is given, it is a sinusoidal signal. So how to get that Vin? The input sinusoidal signal, it can be expressed using this particular format, standard sinusoidal wave, that is Vin is Vm sine omega t. Is omega given? No, f is given. From f you can write omega, right? Omega is equal to 2 pi f. So we will use that. Vm is given, right? Vm is given as 6 into 10 raised to minus 3. Sine omega t you can write as 2 pi f t, because omega is equal to 2 pi f. Now substitute this f. 6 10 raised to minus 3, I will take it here, 10 raised to minus 3 volts. Sine of 2 pi into f is 2 into 10 raised to 3, right? It is 2 into 10 raised to 3. What do you get? 2 pi into 2 is 4 pi into 10 raised to 3, right? So Vin is 6 sine 4 pi into 10 raised to 3 t, 10 raised to minus 3 volts, that is millivolts. Did you understand? This way you have to first get the expression for input signal. Input signal is 6 sine 4 pi into 10 raised to 3 t millivolts. Now the output of a integrator, you know the formula for output of an integrator. What is the output of an integrator? It is V0, that is equal to minus of 1 divided by R1 into CF into integration of Vin with respect to t. And the limits you have to take from 0 to t. Right? So here, in place of this Vin, substitute this particular. And R1 and CF values are given. R1 is equal to 100 into 10 raised to 3. CF is 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. Right? Substitute that, 100 into 10 raised to 3, 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. Vin is 6 sine 4 pi into 10 raised to 3t millivolts. This is with respect to t, right? Integration with respect to t. So what do you get then? So if you integrate, integration of sine is how much? Integration of sine 4 pi into 10 raised to 3t is minus cos 4 pi into 10 raised to 3t divided by 4 pi into 10 raised to 3. Is it right? So it is minus cos 4 pi into 10 raised to 3t divided by 4 pi into 10 raised to 3. Right? And the limits you have to take from 0 to t. So if this I simplify, it will be 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to minus 3. 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to minus 6 is 10 raised to minus 3. This 6 I can take outside of the integral and write it. Right? Now apply the limits. Here there is 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to minus 3, they both get cancelled. What remains then? 4 pi into 100, 400 pi you can write. 6 divided by 400 pi. What do you get then? Yeah, 6 divided by 400. If you find that, it will be 0.015 pi. 10 raised to minus 3 and 10 raised to 3, they get cancelled. And what remains here, if you apply the limits, minus cos 4 pi into 10 raised to 3t, upper limit is t, and lower limit is 0. What is cos 0? Cos 0 is 1, right? So it is cos 4 pi into 10 raised to 3t minus cos 0. Cos 0 is 1, right? So what do you get then? Minus cos 4 pi into 10 raised to 3t minus of minus is plus 1. Right? So if you take this minus sign, so if you take this minus sign and multiply each term inside, minus of minus is plus, so you get plus here, and minus of here there is already minus of minus is plus into minus, so you will get a minus here, right? So it is 0.015 pi into cos 4 pi into 10 raised to 3t minus 1 millivolts. So in this 4 pi into 10 raised to 3, you can also write as 4000, right? You can also write this as 4000 pi t. This is also right. This way also, if you mention, that is also correct. So this way, when you have an example of an integrator, first you have to get this expression for the input signal, then substitute that and get the expression for output signal. Is it clear? Let us take another similar example. Here it's a differentiator circuit. It is given the input to the basic differentiator circuit is a sinusoidal voltage of peak value of 10 millivolts and frequency 1.5 kilohertz. You are asked to find the output if RF is equal to 100 kilo ohm and C1 is equal to 1 microfarads. So this is very similar to the previous one, but the circuit is a differentiator. So first write the given things. RF is 100K, 100 into 10 raised to 3. C1 is 1 micro, 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. VM, peak value of input is 10 millivolts, so it is 10 into 10 raised to minus 3 volts. And frequency is given as 1.5K, 1.5 into 10 raised to 3 hertz. First, you express the input signal in a sinusoidal form, right? We can write input is Vin is Vm sin omega t. Substitute all the values. Vm is 10 into 10 raised to minus 3. Sine omega is 2 pi f. Substitute this f. What is f? F is 1.5 into 10 raised to 3. 1.5 into 10 raised to 3. This 10 raised to minus 3 you can take here. 2 into 1.5 is 3, right? So it is 3 pi into 10 raised to 3. 10 sine 3 pi into 10 raised to 3t millivolts. This is my input signal. Now, you know the expression for output voltage of a differentiator. It is minus RF into C1 into dV in by dt. Right? You substitute this RF and C1. What is RF? RF is 100K, 100 into 10 raised to 3. C1 is 1 micro, 1 into 10 raised to minus 6 into differentiation of 10 sine 3 pi into 10 raised to 3t. Right? 10 sine 3 pi into 10 raised to 3t. So 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to minus 6, it will become 10 raised to minus 3. And differentiation of sine 3 pi into 10 raised to 3t will become cos 3 pi into 10 raised to 3t multiplied by 3 pi into 10 raised to 3. Is it right? So this will be minus 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 10 into cos 3 pi into 10 raised to 3t multiplied by 3 pi into 10 raised to 3. Right? So what do you get then? This 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to minus 3, they get cancelled. 100 into 10 is 1000 into 3 pi is 3000 pi. So it is minus 3000 pi cos 3 pi into 10 raised to 3t millivolts. Right? So this 3 into 10 raised to 3 I can also write as 3000. This can also be mentioned as 3000 pi t. I mean minus 3000 pi cos 3000 pi t millivolts. Is it right? So this way, with given values of RF and C1 and peak value of Vm, first you find what is Vin, substitute that in the equation for V0, you get the value of V0. Is it clear? Let us take another example. You are asked to write the expression for output voltage at the points A, B, C, D, and E as shown in the figure. So actually, there is no point D here. It's an extra thing, just A, B, C, and here there is E. You can just take it as V0. So there are 4 op amps here. So what are the functions of each op amp? Can anyone tell me now? What is the first op amp? There is V1 here. There is a resistance at inverting input terminal, and here there is feedback resistance. R1 you can take 1 kilo ohm. RF is 1 kilo ohm. But what is this circuit? Inverting amplifier. Correct. The first op amp is an inverting amplifier. That is stage A. You can say it is inverting amplifier. What is stage B? R1 is 1 mega ohms. CF is 1 microfarads. There is a capacitance at the feedback. It is an integrator. And the third stage or stage C, at the input there is a capacitor. RF or C1 is 1 microfarad and RF is 1 mega ohm. Right? What is that circuit? It's a differentiator. So this is an inverting amplifier. This is an integrator. This is a differentiator. And what is this? Here there is, at inverting input terminal, they are given 3 inputs. It's a 3 input inverting summing amplifier. Right? R1 is 1K, R2 is 1K, R3 is also 1K, RF is also 1K. So stage by stage we will solve this. The first stage we will take, the first stage or stage A is an inverting amplifier. whose R1 is equal to 1K, RF is equal to 1K. Substitute. Output of an inverting amplifier is minus RF by R1 into V in. Your V in is V1, right? So VA is minus RF by R1 into V1. RF is 1K, R1 is also 1K into V1. So that is minus V1. Right? We have not been given with the values for V1, V2, V3. So just mention it as it is. I mean V1. A is equal to minus V1. Then stage B, you said it is an integrator. You're right. It is an integrator where R1 is 1 mega ohm, CF is 1 microfarads. You know the expression for output voltage of an integrator. Here the output is VB. That is minus 1 by R1 into CF into integration of V2 with respect to T. R1 is 1 mega, CF is 1 micro, 10 raised to 6. 1 mega is 10 raised to 6. 1 micro is 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. They both get cancelled. And what remains is minus of integration of V2 with respect to T. Right? Then stage C is a differentiator where C1 is 1 microfarads and RF is 1 mega ohm. Is it right? C1 is 1 microfarads, RF is 1 mega ohm. You know the output of a differentiator is minus CF into R1. Sorry, it is minus RF into C1 into dV3 divided by dt. So RF is 1 mega, C1 is 1 micro. Again, they both get cancelled. Right, into dV3 divided by dt. So Vc is minus dV3 divided by dt. Then the last stage is a 3-input inverting summing amplifier whose inputs are VA, VB, Vc. And resistances are R1, R2, R3, RF, all are equal to 1K. Right? So you can write the last stage, the final stage is a 3-input inverting summing amplifier whose output is minus of RF by R1 into VA plus RF by R2 into VB plus RF by R3 into VC. Instead of V1, V2, V3, here we have VA, VB, VC. And the values of R1, R2, R3, RF all are equal. So they're all equal to 1K. So they all get cancelled, isn't it? If they are equal, you know, all of them get cancelled. So what remains is just minus of VA plus VB plus VC. You have got the values for all this, the expressions for all of this in terms of V1, V2, V3. VA is minus V1, VB is minus integration of V2 with respect to T, VC is minus dV3 by dt. Right? So that's why if you notice, here there is already minus sign. So, you know, all of them will become plus. I mean, V1 plus integration of V2 with respect to T plus differentiation of V3 with respect to T. Right? So this is the way you can solve an example. If there are multiple stages, you do it stage by stage and get the final expression in this way. Is that clear? Let us take another example, the last one, that is for the circuit given, you are asked to draw the output waveform if the input voltage is as shown in the figure. So this is the circuit given and this is the input voltage. You know, what is this circuit? Can anyone tell me what this circuit is? It is not mentioned. By looking at the circuit itself, you should be able to identify what circuit it is. See, there are no feedback resistances. You have given inputs to both input and, to both the inverting and non-inverting input terminal. Vin is given at the non-inverting input terminal, and to inverting input terminal we have connected 2 volts. So what circuit it is? This plus 15 volts and minus 15 volts are the power supply, plus VCC and minus VEE. That is 15 and minus 15. What is it? Have you come across this circuit or is it something new? Now look at this circuit. What do we have here? There are no feedback resistances. Both the input terminals, they are connected to some voltages. Vin is given at V2 and V1 is grounded. So what we said, this circuit is a comparator, right? It will compare the value of this Vin with whatever voltage you have connected here. Here it is connected to ground, so it compares with 0. If Vin is greater than 0, output will be plus VCC. If Vin is less than 0, output will be minus VEE, right? So in our circuit, we have Vin connected at non-inverting input terminal, but at the inverting input terminal, we have 2 volts. That means what? This is a comparator circuit which compares this Vin with 2 volts. If this Vin is greater than 2, then output will be equal to plus VCC. If Vin is lesser than 2, output will be equal to minus VEE. Right? So what is this Vin? Vin is this particular signal. It's a triangular wave which is varying in between -5 and +5. It's starting from 0 till +5, and it is reducing, till -5, then till +5, -5. It goes on like this. The time axis is in milliseconds: 10 milliseconds, 20 milliseconds, 30 milliseconds, 40 milliseconds. Right? So for this, can you draw the output waveform? Whenever input goes above 2 volts, output will be plus 15. Whenever input goes below this 2 volts, output will be minus 15. That's all. So, the given circuit is a comparator. But write that first. Then the inverting input terminal is connected to plus 2 volts. Plus 2 volts here, right? So, that is V1 is equal to 2 volts. So, when Vin is greater than 2 volts, V0 is equal to positive saturation voltage. That is VCC. That is plus 15 volts. And when Vin is less than 2 volts, V0 is minus VSAT. That is minus VEE. That is minus 15 volts. That is mentioned in the circuit diagram, plus 15 and minus 15. That is plus VCC and minus VEE. So from this, you can draw the output waveform like this. This is a triangular wave, that is input. Whenever this crosses this 2 volts, here there will be 2 volt, right? Whenever this crosses this 2 volt, output will be 15. I mean, for the values of Vin greater than 2 volt, from here to here, output will be 15. And when this Vin becomes less than 2 volts, from here to here, Vin is lesser than 2 volts, so output will be minus 15. The output will have only 2 levels, plus 15 or minus 15, depending on whether the input is greater than 2 or lesser than 2, right? For the values from 0 to 2, input is less than 2, so it will be minus 15. Then at 2 volts, it increases up to 5 and then again comes down till 2. Till here again it will be plus 15. And from here it is going to minus 5, again coming to 2, it will be minus 15. And again it repeats. It's periodic signal, so the output is also periodic, but varying in between only 2 levels, that is plus 15 and minus 15. Right? So this way you can draw the output waveform for the corresponding, this way you can draw the corresponding output waveform for the given input signal. Right? With this, we have actually covered or completed the third module, that is operational amplifiers and its applications. In the next class, we will start with the fourth module. We have actually seen the BJT applications. One part is already done, and the remaining part is feedback amplifiers and oscillators. So we will cover that in the next class.